What happens to our bodies when we break up? That's an interesting question, actually, that I got. When we connect with someone on an emotional level, especially at the beginning, it's like we call it the honeymoon phase. There are a lot of hormones in the brain, and it kind of changes the chemistry of the brain, which is dopamine, serotonin, and also oxytocin. So physical touch is actually the one that is promoting oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone. Some researchers say that the bonding hormone in the women are actually stronger than in the men, and that is why when babies are born, and if they don't have a mother, they find the surrogate mother for them, because when they hold them, actually they develop this connection of oxytocin, which promotes and enhances the growth for the infants and the newly borns if they don't have a mother. So even just holding your baby close to you, that promotes oxytocin both for him or her and you. So the same thing happens with physical touch, hugging, kissing. All this promotes, even not only between partners, romantic partners, also between your family members, your friends. This physical touch promotes oxytocin. And of course, when we break up with someone, then this hormone drops, because if mostly our sense of love and care and touch happens between us and the partner we are in close contact with, intimate partnership, of course this also drops. One thing that social media and being on our phone promotes a lot is dopamine, the excitement of getting a message from somebody, the excitement of following someone or getting contact with someone, or being constantly the anticipation of receiving a message. This excitement also promotes dopamine. So yes, of course, when we break up, it affects us on many levels, but we have to be aware that one of the levels is actually chemicals. Our chemicals in the brain, the serotonin, the happy hormones, drop. So why am I saying that? Why did that make any sense anyways? Because we are going to feel the pain and the hurt and the suffering if we identify with who is suffering, but if you are the awareness and you don't suppress any feelings, and you don't identify with the feelings as the sufferer, but just as the awareness, everything is happening on the screen of consciousness. So just if you allow yourself the space and don't suppress the emotion, but honor what you're feeling in the moment. It's okay to feel sad, it's okay to feel hurt, it's okay to feel pain. But at the end of the day, you remind yourself constantly that you are a spirit having a human experience. You are not just flesh, blood and bone and intellect. You have a heart, you have a soul, you have a spirit, and this is spirit, which is actually your body is in your spirit, not the other way around. It's okay that you are going through this kind of experience, this kind of pain, this kind of suffering. So allow your inner child the freedom to grieve the break of this relationship, but know that you are not the relationship and you are not the sufferer. Just be the awareness behind the emotion, and this gap allows you a lot of freedom, because because emotions come and go, whether it's happiness or it's sadness. They are two faces of the same coin. This contrast, this duality is part of the world that we are living in. So it's inevitable that you will feel both emotions at one point of your life, but it's like a play on the screen of consciousness. Don't identify with sadness, just it's an emotion, but you are not the emotion. You feel the emotion, but you're not the emotion. And when you create this gap, then you allow that everything passes and you can experience things, whether it's happiness or sadness. And I just wanted people to be aware that sometimes people just panic and think, oh my God, I lost the love of my life because of all this hormones and depression and sadness. No, it's also chemistry in your brain. So you have to be aware of that. It's not just only because, and sometimes you're quite convinced that this partner is not the person for you, and it was actually for your own good, because this relationship was suffocating you and it was not doing you any good. But then when you feel these hormones, you panic. So that is why I am just kind of throwing some food for thought here about the hormones and what happens in the brain when we deassociate with somebody whom we had emotions for. This is what happens, and especially if the relationship was long, and of course if there are some sexual interaction. And this is where cord removal and removing the energetic cord from partners come handy, because then you don't have this strong bond anymore energetically, and the partner does not drain you, or you don't drain them too by thinking constantly of them if the relationship is over, and you know you don't feel like you want to go back at any point. I wanted to share this, and you can also, it's, as I said, it's food for thought, so for people to do the research and to become curious about what happens in our bodies when we are in love romantically, and when this relationship ends. Namaste.